Hey, I said in previous videos, I'm sure I would make somebody mad. And I'm not saying I can tell the future, but I didn't disappoint. I certainly do have people mad. But I have some of you that are rather supportive, and I really appreciate you for that. So we'll make sure to go through some of the great, the uplifting, the encouraging comments that some of you leave, because we don't want to just highlight the negative light, right? We want to make sure that we are just touching on some positive things, right? Because I guess people have felt that the content is a little negative, even though I feel like I'm just being sensible and speaking on the real world things that are happening, and also just sharing my own observations as I bought less sneakers in 5 months. So we're going to touch on that, because sneakers don't live and operate within just a silo. We're seeing that within the markets. If you have a retirement account, if you have a 401k, you clearly are feeling the effects of everything that's going on in the market right now with tariffs. Like, you just are. There's an entire global trade war going on, and sneakers aren't exempt from that. Like, we can make sure I can throw up on the screen here, seeing what the stocks have done for sneaker companies right now, today. And we don't know when that decline will stop. So to think that you can just go ahead and enjoy sneakers, yeah, you can, but there are external factors that are going to affect them, and that could also affect people's income. It could affect their buying power. It could affect what these companies are choosing to do. Heaven forbid I may choose to speak on that on my channel. Also, if you're not new here, I've done this for a while. Like, I've been doing sneaker YouTube in terms of talks with TJ for 7 years now. April 2025 marks 7 years. I've always come at it from a personal finance perspective to discuss how economics could play a part. I mean, that's one reason why I didn't need to rush out and make a brand new video related to tariffs and how it would affect sneakers. I made that video in November 2024. I made that video in the past in like 2018, 2019 as well. So I've been talking about this. So if you've been following me, I'm not sure how it's a shock that that's what a lot of my content is. Now, maybe it stands out a little bit more because I'm not buying as many sneakers. I'm not buying as many, as much clothing now. So yes, maybe these videos stand out a little bit more to you, but to think that you want to police the content that's being made when the content you want to see is being made. Like, if you don't want to hear about anything related to personal finance, and let's be accountable, let's be self-aware of what we're spending, and make a plan, and maybe pull back and assess your space, how much you have. Like, if you don't want to hear any of that, I am probably one in thousands of channels that would actually discuss that. Matter of fact, I would probably argue you won't have another channel specifically in sneaker YouTube that will discuss personal finance and things from this perspective on a consistent basis the way that I do. And I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm simply stating an observation. You have so many other channels in which you can watch and you support, and I heavily advise you to do that. Why not just do that? Why try to make my channel conform to whatever it is you want to watch when what you want to watch is already available on YouTube? It is your YouTube. It is your timeline. So why not support and just go watch that content? Why are you watching content knowing exactly it's not the thing you want to see? But quick side note, okay, because Paige, AZ, KK, Sarah Strong, Chin, the girls got the ring, okay? So I just want to go ahead and point that out. I got to give them love because they got the ring. One, this is a 2010 championship shirt, so I don't want to hear that I am new to this, okay? Because I have supported these women's programs for decades, and I love this shirt. It's one of my favorite. It is old, it is cracked, it is worn in, and one, it has like one of the best designs with the net around the neck, aka what Paige has looked like for the past, I don't know how many hours. She finally took the net off. She said it's her favorite necklace now. She finally took the net off. I think she was on the Today Show. So I also have my Paige jersey. There is a short up here on how I chose to style this. I really would love also a blue one, but I'm just so beyond happy for them. The 12th championship, I personally want to just say this on the record, Sarah Strong could be one of the best players to ever have played in a UConn jersey. I don't say that lightly. Just beyond amazing. I'm so happy for Paige. She's just... It was truly turning the page to the national championship that just kept eluding her, and it's done. It's written. She's in the history books now, and again, I'm just so excited. So to be able to have witnessed that, the tournament definitely had my blood pressure high, but I was so excited to have the matchup that I wanted. They just came and played flawless basketball, start to finish. They played flawless basketball the entire length of the game. I'm excited to see what I'm excited to see what South Carolina looks like next season. What pieces do they add? And we know that Raven is returning. So again, women's basketball is in an amazing place. So I'm very excited. And then we move on to the WNBA draft. So you guys be sure to go ahead and share again your thoughts on coming up to the draft, and what team you're cheering for. How do you what are your early predictions? What are your early predictions? I really do want to hear that. But again, let's dive in real quick because I do want to leave room for some positive comment. So, the first class villain, which I guess this name is fitting. Why are you being sanctimonious every video? Let people do what they want with their money. If they fall on their face, let them. Some people have to learn that way. You know, and I'll read verbatim what I said, because, you know, this is how I feel, okay? Someone like myself, some of us like to forewarn people of the dangers of poor decisions. If I could go back and tell younger me, just listen and do things a different way, especially in terms of how you're managing your money, the extra steps that you could take, right? I could be so much farther ahead. Some of you will be farther ahead because you take the time to listen to the mistakes that others have made, you take them to heart, and you choose differently. You don't have to always live the same struggle that everyone else has lived. And if you can save yourself from that, why wouldn't you? And that does take people willing to speak on different things and things they wish they knew sooner rather than later. So I'm never going to apologize for that. Some of you have commented that based on watching my videos, you've reassessed, you're more self-aware, you've pulled back, you've opened savings, you've opened retirement accounts. You're in better places financially with your money while still enjoying the sneakers you have, or you're still enjoying new sneakers, but just at a different pace. I've never said to just stop buying. Outside of you literally having your finances in shambles, I've never said to just stop buying. So I don't know where that narrative is coming from. But for most, these sneaker videos is supposed to be an escape from all that doom and gloom that you keep bringing up. Did you go under everyone else's video and tell them to stop bringing up the doom and gloom of tariffs and the prices being raised on sneakers, and that's likely to happen? Did you go and share that on everyone else? Because I didn't even make a new tariff video. My video is from November. But up and down my timeline right now, there are at least the top 10 creators that people really engage with. They're all making videos about tariffs and how that's going to affect prices coming up. So did you go and share that same energy with them? Something tells me that you didn't. When did sneaker bloggers become lecturers? Well, we're all just pretty much commentary channels. Like, yes, we review things, but also we just share commentary. It's just our thoughts on new sneakers releasing, collaborations that are coming out, what could be affecting sneakers. It's just commentary, so I guess we're all lecturers in a way. Yeah, this one, the math really didn't math. The title, 7 Things I Learned Not Buy Shoes, and the list of 7 things. Yeah, it was that I learned in not buying shoes in 5 months. What does that have to do with you? Like, how is that having a negative impact on you? They were things that I observed. Somehow sneakers are not a need. They're not a need. That's not negative. That's a fact. It's just a fact. You don't need sneakers to live. You need water. You need food. You need carbs, fats, and protein and some sort. You absolutely need water. Sneakers are not a need. So why are you in your feelings about me stating a very real physical fact? It's true, but no one so you do admit that it's true. Good. But no one wants to hear that being a sneakerhead, people have anxiety before buying sneakers. You call people fiends. Are you upset because I stated the behavior that I can clearly observe based on what we can see as the characteristics of someone that's fiending for something? Is that what you're upset about? Intense urges to use or intense urges to buy. Anxiety or panic attacks. Y'all go through the most. Y'all just so much anxiety and panicking when you can't get into sneakers app to be able to buy something. Irritability and mood swings. Y'all are ready to swing on Nike and EQL and every designer who can't, you can't get into their site to be able to buy, and bots are buying up things. Like, y'all go through a hell of mood changes when it comes to these drops. Obsessive thoughts about obtaining and using the drug. Obsessive thoughts about trying to buy the shoe and to have it. Oh, and then that last one there is depression or feelings of hopelessness. So if this is what people are displaying and I'm just observing that, I'm sorry that the characteristics are lining up with something. Also, sneakerhead. Let's remove the first part of that, put another word in there. What do we think that's derived from? I'm not going to say it's not. The point of your videos is there's more important things than buying sneakers, but as a sneakerhead, that's depressing. That's just the reality. And if you don't like reality, then adulthood all of itself is just going to be depressing. But you're an adult, so you kind of need to deal with reality. I'll go ahead and throw something else up here, but I'll also throw the analytics up here because they're talking about, well, children in terms of watching toys and being excited about that. I don't have children watching me. I have grown adults, mainly between the ages of like 25 and 45 that are watching me. So I'm speaking to that specific audience, not little children. So if you want to be entertained as a child, I am probably not the channel for you. But again, to those of you who are positive and supportive, and you actually do appreciate this very obscure black sheep content that I make within Sneaker YouTube, I just want to go ahead and highlight you for a quick sec. So you said, hey, I'm new to the channel and I'm grateful for how refreshing your outlook on how a sneakerhead should be nowadays. Shoes are not getting any cheaper and the cost of living definitely isn't either. Facts. We need moments like these to get a reality check on what our priorities should be. That's it. That's all I'm trying to... Sometimes we just need a reality check. We just need to reset. I appreciate you. I just want to say that I really appreciate your content and providing a healthy POV on sneakers. I feel like our inboxes and feeds are flooded with why sneaker is the best and why you need to go out and buy it. And I don't feel like I've been responsible with my money in sneakers, but I decided to take a step back this year. Same. Like if you're someone and you are really on the fence about, do I continue to buy at the same pace that I was, even though I was comfortable wherever I am financially, or do I decide to pull back because I actually understand that I could use my money for other things? And also you just kind of got to this point where you just didn't feel that pull to sit there and buy every single thing, knowing you weren't wearing a lot of sneakers. I probably am connecting with you there. And if I am, awesome. I really hope that you enjoy the content. And then this one, what I like about this channel is that TJ finds that balance between talking about the economy and sneaker buying and still find a way to correlate the two, stay dropping gems. This info can help someone that's overly obsessed with spending and trying to find a reason to slow down or stop. Listen, your content won't be for everyone. It shouldn't be for everyone because you're just pretty directionless if it is. But for those of you where my content resonates with you and it hits home, it was meant for you. Like, you're probably in the same phase of your sneaker collecting journey as I am. So welcome. I really hope we can connect together. But I just wanted to point out some positives because it was really interesting for me to see those comments come in terms of being negative. And mind you, with the 7 things I learned, those are 7 things that I learned and I observed. And a lot of them are very specific and relative to me, but I stand by what I said in all 7 of those things. And again, I appreciate you guys just sharing some positive things, especially on this one. This young man said, I hope people listen to this video. My father told me to contribute 10% to my 401k when I worked when I worked with him when I was 22. I'm 32 now, and I'm way ahead of schedule when it comes to retirement, Roth IRA, index funds, lifestyle creep. It's all real, and it all applies to us. It really does. So I've never been one to say you should just stop buying sneakers, stop enjoying the things that you love, and I won't say that because that's not how I feel. But you being a little bit more conscientious about how you may go about this thing that you love in sneakers while also making sure that your priorities are in order, guess what? Sometimes you need a reminder of what those things are, especially when you're an adult and there's no one to tell you no. There's no one to tell you no to reel you back in. But sometimes slowing yourself down is the best thing you can do for current you and for future you. So I really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. You can go ahead and share your thoughts below. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.